China's farms are changing quietly, but the shift is impossible to ignore once you see it. In some regions, fields that once relied on teams of workers now operate with a handful of technicians and several autonomous machines. Small robots move between crop rows, drones fly overhead scanning plant health. Soil sensors sit underground sending constant updates. This is not a prototype display for investors. It is working farmland producing real food for real markets. The reason behind this transformation is not fashion or hype. China's rural workforce has been shrinking for years as younger generations move to cities. In many farming communities, the average age of farmers keeps rising. Labor shortages and rising wages make traditional farming harder to sustain at scale. Automation is being introduced because the old system is under pressure and food demand is not slowing down. The question is no longer whether technology belongs on farms. It is how deeply it will reshape them. Under China's Smart Agriculture Action Plan running from 2024 to 2028, the government aims to make over 30% of agricultural production processes data-driven. That means decisions about watering, fertilizing, spraying, and harvesting are guided by live data instead of routine schedules. Sensors track soil moisture and nutrients. Weather systems predict rainfall patterns. Software calculates when and where to apply inputs so nothing is wasted. On pilot farms near Shanghai and in Anhui Province, autonomous field robots already handle tasks that once required full crews. These machines plant seeds, remove weeds, and spray crops with precision. Cameras mounted on the robots use image recognition to distinguish between crops and unwanted plants. Instead of covering an entire field with chemicals, the robot treats only the exact spot that needs attention. This is not about flashy machines replacing people overnight. It is about reducing waste and increasing control. Drones add another layer of intelligence. Flying above the fields, they capture images that reveal early signs of crop stress. They detect subtle color changes and growth differences long before a farmer could notice them from the ground. That means action can be taken days earlier. Early intervention often prevents bigger losses and reduces the need for heavy chemical use later in the season. Under the soil, embedded sensors constantly measure temperature, moisture, and nutrient levels. Irrigation systems respond automatically when conditions drop below optimal levels. Instead of watering every section equally, water flows only where it is needed. This saves resources and protects crop roots from overwatering. In areas facing water shortages, that efficiency can make the difference between a stable harvest and a failed one. Data is starting to matter as much as sunlight and rain. Greenhouses show even more dramatic changes. Inside these controlled environments, robotic arms assist with pollination, pruning, and harvesting. Some systems have reported pollination success rates above 90%. That level of consistency improves fruit quality and reduces production losses. Robots do not get tired or distracted, and they can repeat delicate tasks with steady accuracy. In livestock operations, automation is becoming standard practice in larger facilities. Sensors track animal movement, temperature, and feeding patterns. If a cow shows unusual behavior or a drop in appetite, alerts are triggered automatically. Farmers respond faster, which improves animal health and reduces disease spread. Feeding systems adjust portions based on growth data, minimizing waste and maximizing efficiency. This shift is spreading beyond crops into every corner of food production. Even aquaculture is changing. Intelligent feeding systems monitor fish movement in real time and release feed only when needed. Cameras and AI analyze behavior to detect stress or illness. That prevents overfeeding, which can pollute water and raise costs. In large-scale operations, these improvements translate into higher survival rates and more predictable output. Still, robot farms are not cheap to build. Autonomous machinery, sensor networks, and software platforms require significant upfront investment. Larger farms with consolidated land are often the first to adopt full automation. Smaller farmers sometimes integrate technology gradually, adding sensors or GPS-guided tractors without fully replacing manual labor. So is traditional agriculture disappearing? Not entirely. In many places, farmers and machines work together. A farmer may walk the field with a tablet showing real-time soil data. A tractor may follow satellite-guided routes while a human supervises. The transition is layered rather than sudden. Some regions move faster than others, depending on terrain, infrastructure, and financial support. The deeper reason for this push is food security. China must feed over 1 billion people, with limited farmland per person. Increasing output without expanding land is critical. Precision farming helps maximize every hectare. It also reduces chemical runoff and conserves water, which supports long-term sustainability. Robot farms are not science fiction. They are a response to real demographic and environmental challenges. Challenges remain. Mountainous terrain complicates automation. Fragmented land plots make machine navigation harder. Skilled technicians are needed to manage data systems, and rural education must adapt to train a new kind of farmer. The shift from manual labor to digital supervision changes the rural workforce itself. But the direction is clear. Agriculture in China is moving from muscle to machines, from guesswork to data, from routine schedules to responsive systems. Whether this model becomes dominant worldwide depends on cost, scalability, and results over time. Automation in China's farms is not just about growing more food. It is also about reshaping how rural economies function. When robots handle planting, spraying, and monitoring, the nature of farm work changes. Fewer people are needed for repetitive physical labor. More people are needed to manage systems, analyze data, and maintain equipment. The image of a farmer bent over crops all day is slowly being replaced by someone overseeing dashboards and coordinating machines. This shift creates both opportunity and tension. On one hand, automation can stabilize production and reduce dependence on seasonal labor. On the other hand, it demands new skills that older generations may not have. Training programs and agricultural tech education are becoming more important as farms become more digital. The field is no longer just soil and seeds. It is hardware, software, and connectivity. Large farms tend to benefit the most from robotic systems. Consolidated land makes it easier for autonomous vehicles to navigate in straight lines and operate efficiently. Precision equipment performs best in predictable layouts. That is one reason why land consolidation policies and cooperative farming models are gaining attention. Bigger plots make automation more practical and cost-effective. But small farms still make up a significant portion of China's agricultural landscape. For them, full automation can be financially out of reach. Instead of replacing everything at once, many adopt technology step by step. A farmer might first install soil sensors, then add GPS-guided tractors. Later, integrate drone monitoring. Gradual integration spreads costs over time. The transformation is not a single leap. It is a series of upgrades. There is also the question of reliability. Machines must operate in harsh conditions. Fields can be muddy, uneven, and exposed to extreme weather. Dust, moisture, and heat test the durability of electronic systems. Robotics engineers must design equipment that survives real farm environments, not just laboratory settings. Connectivity is another challenge. Smart farms rely on stable internet or data networks. In remote rural areas, infrastructure gaps can slow adoption. Without consistent data transmission, automated systems lose part of their advantage. Expanding rural broadband becomes as important as expanding irrigation canals. Technology alone cannot transform agriculture. The ecosystem around it must evolve too. Economically, automation aims to reduce volatility. Precision irrigation lowers water bills. Targeted spraying reduces chemical expenses. early pest detection prevents large-scale crop loss. Over time, these savings can offset the high cost of machines. For large operations, stable output makes long-term contracts and supply chains more reliable. Some pilot projects have shown improvements in yield consistency rather than just dramatic increases in total output. That stability matters. Predictable harvests protect farmers from severe income swings caused by sudden disease outbreaks or mismanaged fertilization. Consistency can be as valuable as growth. Beyond economics, environmental impact plays a major role. Precision farming reduces excess fertilizer runoff into rivers. Targeted pesticide use lowers chemical exposure in soil and water systems. Automated irrigation minimizes water waste in regions facing drought pressure. These changes support long-term land health. If done correctly, robot farms are not about pushing land harder. They are about using it more carefully. Yet skepticism remains. Some critics argue that heavy reliance on technology may increase dependency on software providers and hardware manufacturers. Others worry about what happens if systems fail during critical growing periods. Cybersecurity becomes part of agricultural risk management. A malfunctioning algorithm can disrupt irrigation or spraying schedules. The balance between efficiency and vulnerability must be managed carefully. There is also a social dimension. Rural employment patterns shift when automation expands. Manual labor roles decrease while technical roles increase. Younger workers with digital skills may find new reasons to remain in agricultural regions. Older workers may struggle to adapt. Transition policies and retraining programs will determine how smooth that shift becomes. In this sense, robot farms are not only changing agriculture, they are reshaping rural society. Internationally, China's approach could influence other countries facing similar labor shortages and food security pressures. Nations with aging farming populations may look at automation as a long-term solution. However, geographic diversity matters. What works on flat, consolidated land may not translate easily to fragmented or mountainous regions elsewhere. Scaling robot farms globally will require customization, not simple duplication. Despite these challenges, momentum continues. Investment in agricultural robotics and AI research is rising. Startups are emerging alongside state-backed research institutes. Private technology firms are entering agriculture with cloud platforms and data analytics tools. The sector is no longer viewed as low-tech or stagnant. It is becoming a frontier of innovation. Walk through a modernized farm today, and the difference is visible. Machines move steadily between crops. Drones return to charging stations. Control rooms display real-time maps of soil and plant health. It feels less like a traditional farm and more like a coordinated system. The deeper story is not about machines replacing humans entirely. It is about machines taking over predictable tasks, so humans can focus on planning, strategy, and oversight. The role of the farmer evolves from laborer to manager of complex systems. And that evolution is still unfolding. Traditional agriculture is not vanishing overnight. In many places, it continues side by side with automation. But the direction is clear. Data is becoming central. Precision is replacing routine. Robotics is moving. From experiment to infrastructure, China's robot farms represent a shift in mindset as much as machinery. Food production is being treated as a system that can be optimized continuously. Whether this approach becomes the global standard depends on cost, access, and long-term results. If you're curious about how technology is quietly transforming the world around us, make sure you hit subscribe right now.